Hello everyone! Welcome to this vlog. My name is Megan if you are new here. If not, thank you so much for coming back. Well, actually, just thank you all for being here. So, today is January 13th, the number I cannot say, and I've been trying to update this vlog for a couple of days. I have failed, except for some B-roll clips. So it's Thursday. I just had my first class of the day because yes, we are back for the winter semester. I had a very short winter break, and that winter break was spent working my two jobs. I haven't updated you guys in a while, so very quickly. I had my surgery, which we never really discussed. It's kind of put me in a slump, and then my fall semester happened, which went very well. If you are new here, I am in my second year of my social work major. I'm an undergrad. I am working towards my bachelor's degree. And then I had a couple of weeks off, but at the beginning of November, I got myself a second job, so now I work retail as well as the job I had before, and I am getting a third job. I am in the process of working on the paperwork for my first entry job in social work, which is very exciting. However, it has not left me with a lot of time, and during work we had an outbreak of COVID in one of the locations where I work in the health sector, so it was to be expected. Anywho, we expected it. It happened, and it was very emotionally draining. I did a lot of double shifts during my winter break where I would work 15 hours and we have to wear those big masks to cover our faces, and it was just a lot of stress. And I don't think I've come off of that kind of anxiety high, and I am also back now this week for my winter semester. As I mentioned, we are doing the first month online due to COVID being very, very intense here in Quebec in Canada, and then we will probably go back to being in person for the learning. So yeah, I have two classes today. It's my only day with the two classes. I had group intervention this morning, and we have like collective intervention in the afternoon. I study in French, so it's weird to translate these things. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I have been reading a lot since I updated you guys. Well, I mean, since the beginning of the year. I did not vlog last week, and now that I'm vlogging, I'm not reading anything. But let me, have a chat with you and just kind of highlight the books I've read very quickly to kind of give you guys an idea. My reading goal for the year is 100 books. I have not set any other bookish or life goals yet. I'm just kind of giving myself time to enter 2022. The last 2 years have been sort of traumatic for me, so we're going easy this year. So, as always, these vlogs will probably have like those little chapter bars that you can navigate through, so if you don't want to see any of the reviews for these books and you just want to see something else, feel free to navigate your way through this video. But for those of you who care about my reading, let's get into it. As always, for my first read of the year, I always try to be super intentional with what I read. Why was that so difficult to say? Also, I realized there was probably glare in my glasses, so let me take them off for you. So yes, I am always super intentional about the first book I read because I think it always kind of sets a mood for the year. I don't know if that's entirely true, but that's the way I'm seeing it. So, I picked up a book from a new author that I thought I was going to love, and that is Luna and the Lie by Mariana Zapata. If you don't know and are new here, I am a very big romance reader. I love indie published novels more than traditionally published novels at this point, and I love pretty much all the romance tropes except for like pregnancy and when there's too much miscommunication. Mariana Zapata is known to be a slow burn queen, and it's definitely correct. This one is, why did I think it was the dual perspective? I don't know. But it follows a main character named Luna, who when she was 17, she left home and has been working at this like auto body mechanic shop for the past like 10 years of her life. And she's grown very close to the man who owns the shop, who kind of took her in. And at this point in the novel, there has been changes to the auto shop for a couple of years, where this man named Ripley has come to co-own the body shop with the old man who was running it in the first place. And this is Luna and Ripley's story. Ripley is Luna's boss. He's kind of a grump. Luna is more of a sunshine. She's had a lot of things happen to her. There are a lot of trigger warnings for this book, but it is wonderful, so well crafted. The slow burn was chef's kiss, and now I understand all of the Mariana Zapata hype. I tabbed this baby up and I am obsessed. I want to read all her books now. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. As always, I am using Cawpile in 2022. If you don't know what Cawpile is, I'll leave the video and explanations in the description, but it's a rating system created by G at Book Roast. 5 stars. This was amazing, and like, our main character gets called baby girl, which usually that would put me off. It did not. I love it. There's also kind of like an age gap in here, which usually it's like a bunch of things I'm kind of wary about, but I loved it in here. Chef's kiss. Then I'm too lazy to get it because it's all the way over there. I read The Tea Dragon Tapestry, which is one of the books I have, which this is the planner I use for reading. It's the Always Fully Booked. It's my 3rd year with the planner. And at the end, I always add my own spreads, and I have like a prioritized reading list for each year, which I also made a video of. I'll leave it in the cards. And one of them was The Tea Dragon Tapestry. It is the 3rd book in that companion series. It's mostly targeted towards a middle grade demographic. However, I love them. They're adorable. I wasn't the biggest fan of this particular storyline, but I did think it was cute. It had a lot of wise words to bring about its story, and the illustrations are really what get me, and the tea dragons are adorable. So I did not rate that one. It would probably get between like a 3.5, 4 star, but I still recommend the entire series. Then I went on to read The Maddest Obsession by Danielle Laurie, which is the 2nd book in the Maid series. I read The Sweetest Oblivion last year, which is the first book. Why am I talking so weird? And I loved it. This has been my introduction to mafia romances, and The Sweetest Oblivion and Nico will stay in my head forever. I absolutely adored that book, and then I decided to get the rest of the books. The first one was actually gifted to me by Amélie for Christmas, so now I have the entirety of the collection. This one follows Christian and Gianna, and Christian is like a dirty FBI man who is a bad person, and Gianna has kind of always been in the mafia world, and it is their relationship. I don't want to go too much into it. Honestly, if you don't like problematic romances or problematic heroes, you're not gonna like these books. I didn't think I would like them because like I am a social work student and I have my head very much like I stray away from the kind of people that are in these books. However, make them fictionalized, I love them. Christian, yes, absolutely, am a fan. This one ended up getting a 4 star. The beginning 50 pages were a little bit hard for me to get into, honestly, because Gianna is a little bit of an annoying character. But she grows on you, she really does, and I ended up loving it. I am keeping the 3rd book for a little bit later on when I'm in a mafia mood again, and then I had Instagram pick my next read? Is that the correct order? No one cares about the order. I read The Anti-Boyfriend by Penelope Ward. Yeah, that's not the correct order, but who cares? This, again, indie published romance. They all are. And I loved it. This also got a 4 out of 5 stars, but a very high 4, honestly. I enjoyed this very much. This is a dual perspective story that follows Deacon and... why am I blanking on the female character's name? Oh, it's very complicated. We're just gonna go with the girl. The girl in here is a single mother. She had a baby with this man who wanted nothing to do with her and went back to his ex-wife, and she's been raising that child on her own. She used to have a career in ballet, but stuff happened, And one day she like starts talking a little bit with her neighbor, and he's like, oh my god, you look so tired, whatever. And she tells him, like, I have a child, blah, 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 I can't leave. And he decides to help her out. And he's like, okay, what do you need? Like, I'll go get you coffee. Is there anything else I can do for you? He grabs diapers for her. And then their friendship kind of starts. And it goes from, like, friendship to relationship. But then things happen where our main male character had always told himself he didn't want to be involved with like kids or a family or whatever, and stuff happens from there. Obviously there is like a third act breakup. I'm not spoiling anything here, but I really love the discussions. I love the family aspect in this, and I am a really big sucker for like a single parent trope. I especially love it when the single parent is a dad usually. But this did it for me, honestly. I just loved it. It was adorable. There had sad moments. Like, my heart was in it. I was fully invested. Love the characters. Both of them in this book were absolutely amazing. And I highly recommend this one. Then I read a TikTok acclaimed novel, and that is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I will preface this and say that this one is a clean romance. It is fade to black. Some people were disappointed about that. I do love me some smut, but I don't care when romances are fade to black. I can still enjoy them just as much. This one also got a 4 star, so we're really high up in the ratings this month. This one follows Bree and Nathan. And Bree is a ballerina, and Nathan is a NFL football player, and they used to be like the bestest friends when they were teenagers. They kind of grew apart and then they reconnected, and it's both of them pining for each other without the other one knowing, and they end up having to fake date. And honestly, this man has my heart. Can I get myself a copy of this man? Like, honestly, this was perfect. The character's incredibly reasonable. There's no drama for nothing. Like, it is a very sweet, traditional romance without all the angst and the drama. It's just pining and two friends loving each other and always putting each other first, and stories of their career and like just emotional support and standing up for yourself, and I loved everything about this. It's definitely one of the romance books that, even though I didn't give it 5 stars because like technically it's not a 5 star, it will live in my head rent-free for a long time. I love these characters, and now I really want to read more Sarah Adams. She has a lot of books I'm interested in, and hopefully eventually I'll get them on my TBR. Like, physically. I want them all physically because they're adorable. And the last book I have to talk about is The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the sequel to the Inheritance games, which I really enjoyed. I gave 4 stars to the Inheritance games as well as 4 stars to the Hawthorne Legacy. I started this in 2021 and ended it in 2022, which is unfortunate, but it happens. This is the sequel. If you know nothing about the series, it is a YA mystery, kind of like Knives Out, where our main character inherits billions of dollars from a man she doesn't know, but the catch is she has to go live with this man's family for a year. At the beginning, they all want to kill her. They don't understand why she would get the inheritance, and then it's kind of like her, as well as all the Hawthorne boys, working towards these puzzles that the old man would have given them to figure out why it is that Avery is getting all this money. There is also a love triangle between Avery, Grayson, and Jameson, and I am a Jameson stan as of now, 2 books in, and if she doesn't end with Jameson, I'm gonna be big sad unless things dramatically change. Let me know in the comments if you've read these books, who you stan. So, that's kind of like a wrap-up of the highly tabbed books. Oh, this is so satisfying. Like, look how pretty. All the books I've read. Now I need to catch my breath. I have also received some book mail, some which I have not opened because I'm leaving it for other high anxiety days, because God knows they're gonna happen all the time. But I wanted to show you a few of the things I got because they're a few of the things I will be reading. First of all, I had a gift card which I used to buy Lore Olympus Volume 1, which was the webtoon everyone is talking about. It's a Hades and Persephone's retelling. These are the 25 first episodes. There will be other volumes, and you can read all of them on webtoon if you're interested, but I wanted a physical copy. I'm not much of a Hades and Persephone's fan. Like, I don't really care for that many retellings. However, I think I'm going to love this. And it's just beautiful, like a beautiful collector's item, so I definitely wanted that. This is something I want to read either the end of this week or next week. Then I am part of the HarperCollins Frenzy influencers, whatever. They had their event for things coming out in the next few months. 2 arcs I got are these 2, which is One True Loves by Elise Bryant, as well as Love at First Sight by Anna E. Collins. This is an adult romance. This is a YA contemporary romance. This is kind of like a companion novel to Happily Ever Afters, and they both sound divine. They're both released, I think, January 4th, so you can get your little paws on them if you are interested, but I cannot wait to read these. They're right up my alley. And then 2 books I unboxed today, one of them being From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. Obviously, I am Zapata trash. I really want to collect all her books. Like, I have so many of them on my wish list. I want them all. Like, honestly, I've been having such a rough time with, like, COVID and stuff, and all I want to do is buy all her books, sit down in a little reading nook, and not come out until I've read them all, because Mariana Zapata is the energy I want for 2022. Like, she is a powerful writing goddess. I love her already. So I got this one. This is a figure skating romance. Again, probably will be slow burn. Cannot wait. And the book I will probably be picking up right now is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, the first book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. It is a dual perspective book about this man who, it says, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, theme parks, production companies, 5-star hotels. Everything could all be mine if I renovated Dreamland. And then he hires this girl and they end up kissing, and then shenanigans ensue. Lauren Asher is also the author of the Dirty Air series, which are like Formula One romances. I do have the first book of that as well. I am a big Formula One person because of my partner, so I can't wait to read that one. This one has been all over TikTok, and I am very curious because it looks like a grump for everyone but her kind of situation. So yes, I am also currently listening to the first book in the Nevermore series, The Trials of Morgan Crow, while I play Mario Kart. If you play Mario Kart and want to be my friend, let me know, because I'm looking for friends to play Nintendo Switch with, so thank you. I need to, like, eat something. I have half an hour before class starts, so I'll update you guys later. I'm sorry this update is so long, but I'll catch you in a bit. Hello, friends. We're moving this vlog into a new week because I completely forgot to keep updating last week. Last week was kind of a sluggish week. I started school, had lots to do at work, and did not read much. However, I don't want to give up on vlogging. I really need to get back into it, so I thought it wouldn't be the end of the world to combine 2 weeks together. I hope you guys are okay with that, because I thought it was really relevant to talk to you guys about all the books I've been reading and kind of my mindset and what has been going on with me for the past little while. So we're just going to, like, smoothly transition into a new week. Today is January 18th. It is Tuesday again. For you guys, it was just like the last clip, but for me, updating this vlog, it's been like a week. Again, started school, had lots to do at work. We are still in the midst of COVID, so it's been kind of difficult, but I'm trying to get all my shit together, so we're doing this. Last week, I did not read much. It was a weird week, truthfully. However, I have been getting back into audiobooks and planning. So I did finish 2 audiobooks in the past 2 days, and I have picked up my next physical read, so I thought we could go through that very quickly. The first audio I completed was Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow, which is the first book in the Nevermore series. I am up to date with that series, but my first read of them were physically, and I've been wanting to reread them because they make me very, very happy. It's my favorite middle grade series with Amari, and I just needed a comforting read, so I used one of my Audible credits, and I listened to the first one. 5 out of 5. It is impeccable. I loved it even more the second time around, and I think that the audiobooks are amazing with the little like added music they put in and like extra effects sometimes. And if you have any middle grade readers in your life or children that you want to introduce reading to, I think these audiobooks are bloody fantastic. I absolutely adore them. And then yesterday when I finished Nevermore, I was still kind of in the mood to listen to a book while I was playing the Switch. So I picked up another book for a reread. That is Geekerella. This is the actual cover. And I just finished it this morning. I love this story. It's cheesy, it's predictable. It got like a 4.5 the first time I read it in 2018. It would be more like a 3.5 now. I left my Goodreads rating at a 4 because it has nostalgic feelings for me and a lot of the tropes I like. If you are unaware, this is one of my favorite like young adult companion series that features fandom. It follows, we call her Elle. Her real name is Danielle, and Darian is an actor for this show that is kind of rebooting, which was called Starfield, and it had like an original show, and it's been rebooted into a movie. We follow his perspective on being famous and not knowing how people will kind of see him taking on a role that has been so beloved because he doesn't really fit the criteria. And then we have Danielle, who is a diehard fan of Starfield and has always been with her dad, and it kind of follows the subplot of Cinderella, which you can guess by Geekerella. And so she lives with her stepmother. Her parents has died. Her stepmother is a shitty person, and so are her stepsisters. And it's kind of like a Cinderella story with modern geeky things, and I love it. It was a terrible explanation, but I feel like a lot of people are at least familiar with the first in the series. The second is based on the Prince and the Pauper? Anyways, it's The Princess and the Fangirl, and the third is Beauty and the Beast, which is Bookish and the Beast, and I just love them. They're not the most amazing books out there, but they are definitely good comfort reads, so I'm probably gonna pick up the second audio as well. They are like free with the Audible like catalog. You can listen to them without using a credit, so if you guys were interested in these stories, you can find them there. And the book I am reading, I don't know if we went over this last week, but I'm still reading The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I am on chapter 14 or page 113. I am loving this. I have class at 1, and I'm going to read this before class starts to kind of, you know, give myself a relaxing time before 3 hours of Zoom. I'm loving this. The grumpy kind of trope, grumpy sunshine-ish trope in here is fantastic. I'm loving the writing style, and I'm so happy I am because I really want to read the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher, and I was scared I wasn't going to really like how she builds up characters and stuff, but so far, so good. I'm loving this. The second book in the series comes out at the end of February, so that's always a plus. Also, today I managed to get the second hardcover Fairy Loot edition of The Heartstopper, a signed copy this time. So I'm very happy because I have the first one back there and I like want the complete set. Then Illumicrate also announced yesterday they're doing a special edition of The Love Hypothesis, which I absolutely adored last year, and hopefully I get myself a copy. And yeah, those are all the bookish related updates. I'm gonna go read and die in my Zoom class, and I'll catch you guys up hopefully not in a week's time. Lord excuse all the chatty bits of this vlog, but we had a severe snowstorm yesterday. Incredible amounts of snow, and this is kind of like the result. I know the windows are dirty. I don't clean them in the wintertime because it's like -40 and then this happens. But yeah, I thought I'd let you know. We had a massive snowstorm. Schools were closed in Ontario. People were literally shoveling the highway. This feels very Canadian. Hey, hi, hello, welcome to my crazy looking living room. We're trying out more angles. I also wanted you to be able to see my bunnies. This one is currently hiding in his blankets because it's cold, but here we are. I'm going to be closing out the vlog. I look like a mess, but I also feel like a mess, so it kind of fits. Today is Thursday. I'm in between my 2 classes of the day, so I thought it's time to wrap it up. But before we do that, I will update you guys on the other books I have finished before I move into a new reading vlog. So on Tuesday, I briefly mentioned this book, but I ended up reading the entire rest of The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This is a romance novel, which is now one of my all-time favorite romance novels. Or one of my favorite novels, all categories combined. I tabbed the hell out of this, and now I have a feeling I'm going to be as obsessed or even more obsessed with her Dirty Air series. I keep thinking about I only own the first one, and I'm like, do I buy all of them? Like, they're on my wish list, and I keep thinking about them. I'm gonna like, I feel once I read the first one, I'm gonna be so obsessed, I'm gonna want all of them, because this is how I feel about the rest of the companion series. The second one in this series comes out at the end of February, and it follows Declan and his assistant, which I'm super hyped about. But I don't even think I mentioned the synopses for this one. This follows Ronan and Zara. Ronan is in the industry of creating fairy tales. He essentially owns a portion of like the biggest amusement park slash franchise of like all things fun, kind of like Disneyland, but in this one it's called Dreamland. And in order to be able to get like a hold of one of his shares for this amusement park, it's like $25 billion, he has to follow his grandfather's will, and in doing so he meets Zara, who is one of the employees at Dreamland, who always dreamed of becoming a creator for these amusement parks, which a creator is kind of like the people who talk about new rides, and like they plan out the new things to add to the parks and hotels and everything. And she had originally had an idea, which was like things happened with that, and now at the beginning of this book she criticizes drunkenly one of the rides at this park as a proposal, and she ends up getting a creator's job, and it is their romance story. So it's kind of like an office romance between an employee and the biggest, like, highest ranking boss, and it's like grumpy sunshine, the pining, the chemistry, the drama, the angst, the writing. It's all phenomenal, and my cat is so, I'm sorry if you can hear her. Anyways, I'm going to talk about this more in my wrap up for the month, but it was absolutely phenomenal. And then I had to pick up a new audiobook and a new book to read. So for my audiobook, I have yet to listen to it, but I've decided on Pages & Co. The Book Smugglers by Anna James. I'm going to talk about this more in my next reading vlog. There's no point going into like details about what this is. However, it's the 4th in a series, but technically the 1st in its own companion series. This is a middle grade. I usually read this physically, but I sampled the audiobooks and they sound amazing, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And then to complete like the roundup of this vlog, I actually read one last book completely yesterday, which had me sobbing like a couple times, and that is The Humans by Matt Haig. If you are unaware, 2 years ago I read The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and I bawled my eyes out, and I love that book. It's a very polarizing book. Some people love it, some people hate it. I am part of the group that absolutely loves that book. I think about it often, and I wanted to pick up more of Matt Haig's books that reminded me of this. This obviously came before The Midnight Library, and this was kindly sent to me by Jason, which, thank you so much for all the gifts you've ever given me on my booktube channel. Like, when I get gifts from you guys, it just makes my day. Y'all are always stuck in my books, and it makes the reading experience so much more special. Which, thinking about it now, I think Jason is also the one who gifted me The Midnight Library, which is kind of fun. But anyways, this is a story of an alien who comes to Earth to erase the memory of everyone who's come into contact with this man, who's kind of pushed the boundaries of prime numbers in the mathematical world and has found this solution, but the aliens think that the human race are not advanced enough, and so they send this alien to take over that man's body and kill everyone who's heard about it, and it's essentially an exploration of what it is to be human, what it is to love, what it is to be aware that one day you're going to die, and just kind of a lesson in becoming a human and like social norms and protocols. And as a social work student, this one hit hard, but also as someone who's gone through a lot of trauma in their own personal life, I think that this was amazing. I will say the first 50 pages I was like, what on earth am I getting into? But then quickly you become enthralled in the story and you start to care so much without realizing it. I haven't given this one a rating because it's very hard to rate versus other like actual non-fiction novels, because this is not, Matt Haig's books aren't really done the same way as other normal novels are formatted, and like the characters and the writing and the intrigue, it's not the same way I would rate it on Compile, but like honest to you guys, this is amazing. Like I'd give it 5 stars. I think I'm going to leave it without a rating on Goodreads, but I love this and I highly recommend it, and I kept crying yesterday. It was awful. I felt so sad. So yeah. There are trigger warnings for that as well as trigger warnings for the fine print, which I will try to include in my Goodreads reviews once I have time to update them, but be on the lookout if any of those books interest you. But yeah, this annoying little piece of fur wants a little bit of attention, so that's what we're gonna go do. But that's it for this vlog. I'm sorry it was chaotic, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. And I can't wait to film more vlogs for you guys because I'm in a freaking good reading mood. I've read 10 books this month so far, so crossing my fingers it keeps that way. And we'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye guys!